So, okay, so predicting performance is difficult, although it's useful because performance exists, but assessing performance is also extremely difficult. So that's why, in some ways, that's why you could regard market solutions to complex problems as almost inevitable. You imagine that, so how do you know if a company's run well? Well, the answer to that is people buy its products and they buy them for enough so the company can keep running. Then you might ask, well, is there anything you could measure outside of that? And the answer to that is possibly not, because it's so difficult. You know, because I remember I read once that, you know, under the communists, there were central committees that had to do pricing. And so this committee, if I remember correctly, had to make something on the order of 100,000 pricing decisions a day. So you can imagine, you just try to think for a minute about how you would calculate what a nail is worth. Now remember, you don't get any price data from the market, because the market would say, well, a nail is worth whatever someone will pay for it. Well, say you don't have a market. Well, how in the hell do you figure out what a nail is worth? The answer to that is you can't, because the nail is only worth something in relationship to every other thing that's worth something. So you could imagine trying to compute the comparative cost of one thing against all other things, and then having to do that against all other things. Well, that's why, hypothetically, that's why markets actually work efficiently, is because you could think of the market as a gigantic supercomputer made up of the brains of every single person who's making purchasing decisions. And you just don't even bother solving the problem. You just throw things out there, and some of them succeed in a sort of Darwinian way, and some of them fail, and that's that. And you might say, well, the market, you know, there's problems with the way that the market values things, and the proper response to that is, yes, no doubt, but what are you going to do that might constitute a better alternative? And I'll tell you, if you start wrestling with that problem, it gets extraordinarily difficult. It's so technically complex that I don't actually think it's manageable. I think you can't do anything probably but make it worse. Anyways.